Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So I am going to be going through with you how Manchester United will line up with Alex Telles and Edison Cavani in the team. Now, in a 3-5-2 formation, we would go with David De Gea in goal, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw as a left centre-back. Then obviously, Alex Telles, would be the wing-back. Bissaka would be the right wing-back. Then the midfield, you'd have Paul Pogba, Fernandes and Donny van der Beek. Then you'd have obviously Edison Cavani up top, with probably Marcus Rashford or Anthony Martial. So that is one of the ways. Now in a 4-3-3 formation, it would be obviously David De Gea in goal, and Wan-Bissaka at right back, Bay and Harry Maguire as a centre-back partnership. Alex Telles then would come in at left-back for Luke Shaw. Then you'd have obviously Pogba, Fernandes and Donny van der Beek as a midfield three. Then you'd have Rashford on the left, Martial on the right and Edison Cavani up top. In a 4-4-2 formation, we don't obviously go with that formation, do we really? It'd be obviously similar to the 4-3-3. The 4-2-3-1 formation, that's a formation Manchester United do use a lot, isn't it? Obviously, it would be David De Gea in goal, and Wan-Bissaka right back, Harry Maguire and Bay as a centre-back partnership, Alex Telles at left back, the two in the mid, Paul Pogba and Donny van der Beek, maybe even Matic or even McTominay could come in, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and Edison Cavani. So that's they are the ways we could line up with them two players in the team. By the way, Anthony Martial is unavailable for the Newcastle game after the international break because obviously, he got a red card in the 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. I think, it was an unfair decision, to be quite honest, because I don't think Anthony Martial should have been sent off. Now, we've got difficult games coming up after the international break. Obviously, we've got Newcastle coming up. That's a game Manchester United should win. After Newcastle, it's PSG in the Champions League. It's going to be our first group stage game. Then, we've got Chelsea in the league. I think Leipzig's coming up as well. Arsenal's coming up very, very soon. We have already lost 2 of our first 3 league games, and both of them defeats have come at Old Trafford. And we have conceded 11 goals in our last 3 league games. So we haven't had a good start to this season, have we? Because we lost at home to Crystal Palace 3-1. And, we recently lost to Tottenham by 6-1. That was our worst defeat since Alex Ferguson's retirement. And it's the worst defeat we've endured under the Solskjaer era. And Solskjaer made an admission after that game against Tottenham, saying that it was the worst day in his managerial career. And we are currently sitting 16th in the Premier League at the moment. So, we are near the relegation zone. So we have got to rejuvenate ourselves. But to be honest with you, we've made some good signings. obviously the transfer window's now shut, but in the summer transfer window we made 5 signings. Obviously, got Donny van der Beek in. He's enjoyed a good start to his Manchester United career. We obviously got Donny van der Beek in a deal worth, was it £40 million? Donny van der Beek currently wears the number 34 shirt at Man United. He did sign a 5-year deal with the club with an option of a further year. But we got 4 of the players on deadline day, so that's when we seem to do our business. But we did leave it late, didn't we, to be honest with you? We've obviously brought Edison Cavani in. It's obviously going to provide more competition now for Anthony Martial. We've got Edison Cavani on a free transfer. Edison Cavani's obviously signed a 2-year contract with Man United. We're going to be paying him £200,000 a week, so he's one of the highest paid players at Manchester United. I think Edison Cavani is going to be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. My only element of concern about him is that he's got a record of injuries. Alex Telles, I think he's a very, very good signing. Got him for cheap as well. I think, didn't we pay around €15 million for him? Equates to around 13.6 million in pounds sterling. But I think there's add-ons included of around 1.8 million. Alex Telles signed a 4-year deal with the club with an option of a further year. So I'm just very delighted that we got that left back in. It was announced, was it this morning, that Manchester United had signed Facundo Pellistri from Club Atletico Penaril. I think we've got him for around £8 or £9 million. He signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year. I didn't include them of how we could line up that player. But he did actually say that he would get straight into the first team. He's predominantly a winner. Don't really know much about him, to be honest with you. We've also got Amad Traore from Atlanta, but he's not joining the club until January. I think we've got him in a deal worth 37.2 million. We're paying like 19 million up front with 18.1 million in add-ons. This is, by the way, subject to passing a medical, agreeing the personal terms and a work permit. He is a right winner, is Amad Traore. He was the first player born in 2002 to score a goal in the Serie A, and that was last year. So they're the signings we've made. They're the signings we made in the summer transfer window. Obviously, in January, which was obviously earlier on this year, we recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. And last summer, Solskjaer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. So Solskjaer spent a good £200 million now at Manchester United. But there was also a lot of targets that were missed out on in the summer transfer window. We obviously missed out on Jadon Sancho. We missed out on Ismail Assar. We missed out on Kalidou Koulibaly. We missed out on Jack Grealish. We missed out on Sergio Reguilon. We also missed out on Gareth Bale. We missed out on Ousmane Dembele. Don't forget, back in January, we missed out on Erling Haaland, and I said it was a shame that we missed out on him because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. And we also missed out on Jude Bellingham. So that's very infuriating. We also got rid of quite a few players in the summer transfer window. Don't forget, Smalling has just recently left the football club. He joined Roma on a permanent deal. Roma have got him on a 3-year deal. Farewell to Chris Smalling, because he was a long-serving player at Manchester United. He enjoyed around 10 years with us. Made 323 appearances in all competitions, did Chris Smalling. And last season he was out on loan with Roma. Also too, we let Diego Dalot go out on loan to AC Milan. We let Andres Pereira go out on loan to Lazio. We also loaned Tahith Chon out. We loaned Dylan Levitt out. We loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. Also, Sanchez joined Inter Milan permanently. So it is good that we have got rid of more players. For the vast majority of the summer transfer window, though, we was struggling to offload our players, and there's still deadwood now at the football club. I'm hopeful that we can get rid of Rojo. I'm hopeful that we can get rid of Jones. And I'm hopeful that we can get rid of Jesse Lingard, because they've been linked to a move away from the football club. But I can't wait to see Alex Telles and Edison Cavani play for us. In the game against Newcastle, they should be both making their debuts for the club. But for my own perception, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been backed enough as Manchester United manager, and I think he does deserve more backing, because he publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money. And Solskjaer revealed quite a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very infuriated with the board, obviously over the lack of signings, but we've been very critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. There's obviously explanations behind it. Matt Judge, you can say, he's also accountable for the failure of some transfers. Woodward's been with us 8 years, the Glazers been with us around 15 years, and Matt Judge has been with us around 7 years. He's been a transfer negotiator at Manchester United since 2016. But a lot of money has been spent at the football club in the last 7 years. We have spent close to the £1 billion range on players. And we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Under the Moyes era, we brought the likes of Fellaini and Juan Mata in. Under the Louis van Gaal era, we brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Herrera, Victor Valdez, Romero, Rojo, Martial, Shaw, Daley Blind, Darmian. So we brought a lot of players in under Louis van Gaal era, but the vast majority of the players that Louis van Gaal brought in have now left. Mourinho, he obviously recommended 11 players into the football club, and the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's, isn't it? Because, Mourinho brought Lee Grant in. He obviously brought Dalot in, but Dalot's no longer here. He brought Eric Bailly in, he brought Victor Lindelof in, he brought Matic in, he brought Pogba in. He brought Mkhitaryan in, he brought Sanchez in, he brought Ibrahimovic in. He also brought Lukaku into the football club. So, there you go. But I think a lot of the players haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. I think we did make a mistake by getting rid of Ander Herrera and Romelu Lukaku. I think since 2016, we spent a good £500 million on players. But yeah, Solskjaer must have brought around 10 senior players now into the club, hasn't he? He's also brought a few academy players into the club. But this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second season as Manchester United manager. And I said to you, didn't I, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to do to keep his job at Manchester United, and that's to guide us to a top 4 finish and win a trophy. Because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. And the way things are going at the moment, Solskjaer is not going to exceed his expectations. If he doesn't, I think he will get sacked as Manchester United manager. Now, there's obviously a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding him out of the club because they don't think he's the right manager and they don't think he's the foreseeable future. We probably just believe that, we've got to get a manager in that will suit the strap-ons of the club, and a manager in with a proven pedigree, such as a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola, for a prime example. Some Manchester United fans think we made a mistake by getting rid of Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years with us. He did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. Also got second in his first season, but the main explanations why it didn't work out under Mourinho is because the board weren't backing the signings he wanted to bring in. He had bad disputes with the board anyway, and he had bad disputes with our top players. And to be honest with you, I think we're recommending Mourinho in too late. I think we should have got Mourinho in when Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Now, like I updated you earlier on today, it says that Manchester United have made contact with Mauricio Pochettino over potentially replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he will be our next manager if we do sack Solskjaer. Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before he got the job. Before Solskjaer got the job in December 2018. Pochettino was actually the favourite to take over, and he did say that he was interested in taking over because I think Pochettino will want to continue managing in England. It's around 11 months ago now that Pochettino got sacked from Tottenham. So he's been manager now for almost a year. Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure with Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. Last year, got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. But my only element of concern about him is not won in terms of silverware. I think Tottenham must have paid around 12.5 million to sack him because he was under contract because in May 2018 he signed a 5-year deal with Tottenham. Don't forget, before Massimiliano Allegri, former Juventus manager, was linked with a managerial role at Man United. At one point there was talks of Zinedine Zidane coming into the football club. But on the other side of things, there's some Manchester United fans that think it won't solve a lot if we sack Solskjaer, because not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Some of the blame stems from Solskjaer for the inconsistency in that. I said one thing he's got to improve on, and that's his decision making, because in a lot of games since he took over, he's been very tactically naive. Solskjaer's managed a good 90-odd games now for Man United, I think, and he's won over 50 games as Manchester United manager. But yeah, there's definitely players that have got to take responsibility, because there's obviously players that have been underperforming. De Gea, he's not good enough now. I don't think he should remain our number one goalkeeper. I think we should put Dean Henderson as our number one, because in Dean Henderson's last 2 games, he's kept clean sheets. Wan-Bissaka, he hasn't had a good start to this season. Doesn't have any attacking intent whatsoever, but in a lot of his games, his defensive contribution's been good. Lindelof's too inconsistent. Lindelof's going to find game time hard now because Solskjaer's confirmed that he'll be playing Bay regularly, so he'll play ahead of Lindelof. Maguire, he's had a poor start to the season. Luke Shaw, he hasn't had a good start to the season. Pogba, he's had an abysmal start to the season. Fred, McTominay and Matic, I don't think they've had a great start to this season either. So there's definitely players that have got to step up to the plate. There really, really is. And not everything, is negative under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I've taken positives from his tenure so far, like I've already mentioned. He's made some good signings so far. He's obviously, got rid of a lot of players since he came into the club. I do like the way Solskjaer has promoted the youth. The young players have been given their chances. We've also had some good periods under him because we went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions. Went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. We did well in that 3-month period when he was the temporary boss. But the main explanation we give Solskjaer the job was reflect on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the temporary boss, but I think we give Solskjaer the job too early, and he always said that it had only cost us around £4 million to sack him. That's totally contrast to the 18 million that we had to pay to get rid of Jose Mourinho, And Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left now, is it, on his current contract at Manchester United. And, last season, to be fair, Solskjaer did exceed most of his expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. We also finished third, and we did progress to 3 semi-finals. So he did well in his first full season, and we was in a very, very bad position at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, didn't we? Like I said, Tino, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it for 7 years. But we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years, and I think we are at least a good 3 or 4 years off from winning the title. As you know, at the moment, the likes of City and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. But like I said, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out, because at the end of the day, I love him. He's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years, flourished under Ferguson's guidance. I just don't think he's got it as a manager, though. He really, really hasn't. And no manager at Manchester United, or no manager in general, will replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy or last as long as Sir Alex Ferguson did. Because Ferguson enjoyed 20 odd years at the club, won a total of 38 major honours, didn't he? Including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United, did he? But the success came under Ferguson, because since he retired, we've been inconsistent, and before Ferguson came into the equation, we was also inconsistent. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.